Samir, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Okay, let's go. Greetings, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you from the Training Committee, Career Development Center, and IT Rourkela. Myself, Ayush Raj from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, and I am joined by Urvi Das from Ceramic Engineering, and other training coordinators are also here. I will introduce everyone to you greatly soon. So, before starting the presentation part, as many of you have already experienced one semester of our initial evaluation and orientation process, and we truly appreciate your sincerity, your commitment, and the valuable feedbacks that helped us shape this semester strategy. But let me also be very honest with you. Since the world is changing, and so is the job market, recruiters now expect far more than they did even a year ago. Like companies are becoming more selective, processes are becoming tougher, and expectations are getting higher. That being said, the world of recruitment is evolving rapidly. You all know that. And companies are raising their bar. They want more skills, deeper clarity, and a real project experience and strong communication skills, definitely. So, as the competition has intensified, and to match that, our training process too must level up. So, this semester, while the process will become more rigorous, it will also be more rewarding and the real world aligned. Uh, Everything we have planned, from the simulations to projects to evaluations, is structured to bring out the best in you and give you the edge you need to succeed. So, also, we are not here just to conduct workshops or orientations. We are also here to help you develop a mindset of professionalism, preparedness, and problem solving. Exactly what recruiters are looking for. Okay. So this was all from the nice the part. As I mentioned, I am Ayush Raj from the Department of CSE, and alongside me is Urvidas from Ceramic Engineering. Together, we are your chief coordinators for this year, 2025 to 2026. But we are just the tip of the iceberg. Samir, can you change the slide? Okay, let me now proudly introduce the current team of departmental training coordinators who have been working tirelessly behind the scenes and will be your go-to people during the entire journey. You may note down the name of your branch coordinators for this session, or else you can check the groups and contact them individually. The first meet Aniket Nair from the chemical engineering branch. He will be taking in charge of chemical engineering, food processing, and chemistry department for noun periods. Next, we have Ria Pojge, a student of metallurgical and material engineering. She will be overseeing activities for MM and LS. And then we come with Nikhil Purohit, representing mechanical branch. Is set to coordinate for both mechanical and ID department. Joining us from the civil engineering department is Samir Gupta, who will be the managing responsibilities for civil, biomedical engineering, and biotechnology also. From CSE, we have Sadan, who will be looking after the CS and the physics branches both. And finally, Kirti Sukla from the electronics and instrumentational engineering branch will be guiding EC, EI, and EE going ahead. For mining and ceramics, Urvi will be actively managing responsibilities, and under me, I will be heading effort in CSE and MA branch. So currently we are this much only, but soon we will be forming the full committee, including coordinators from every branch. Also, I would like to mention that these are not just the names. Each of them is dedicated to make sure your training experience is smooth, effective, and enriching. You will see them leading sessions, sharing resources, reviewing your work, answering your questions. So you can reach out to any of us whenever you feel doubtful or need help. Moving forward, Samit, change the plan. Yes. Now you may have many doubts or queries regarding what exactly is going to happen, how the entire process will be carried out in this particular session, and most importantly, how this is going to benefit you. Believe me, when I say as we progress through the sessions, every single of your queries will be resolved with each slide. Stay with us, the full picture will become crystal clear. Even if it has not been addressed, you can put that in comment. We will sure take that at the end if time permits us to do, or else you can ask in your respective training groups. One of us will surely respond to that. Now let's get into what we have all waiting for, our plan of action for this semester. This plan has been carefully designed, keeping in mind what today's recruiters accept and what gaps we identified in the previous semesters. Like for now, there are five key pillars of our program: resume building and the review sessions. We will be conducting a focus session on craftful, powerful resumes. Resumes that are not just well formatted but speak to your achievements, your skills, your value as a candidate. We will also provide structured reviews to help you improve further because let's face it, your resume is your first impression, definitely. Then comes then second part's alumni sessions. So it is also very important to know what's your alumni doing or what they have done to get into their jobs, the insights that will be that will help us in our process. Then comes the evaluation test, two rounds of carefully curated assessments, one focusing on aptitude and logical reasoning, and another on domain specific knowledge. These will mimic actual company tests, so think of this as your dress rehearsal for the real one. And then comes the domain specific project workshops. You will be grouped together based on your sector of interest and given hands-on projects. These are not just classroom assessments, these are curated industry relevant tasks meant to be resume material. You will be reviewed on your progress, clarity in applications. And then comes for those who are aiming at the research roles or higher studies, the research guidance, internship guidance. We will guide you through the opportunities like Spark, Search, and many more. From how to cold mail professors to building a compiling research resume, we will help you every step of the way. Like, no worries, like you don't know now how to write a cold mail or how to make a CV. We will take another session on that too. This is not about the quality, it's about quality and readiness. Both. Every component of this plan is mapped to one purpose to make you placement ready. Submit, yeah. Next part. We will begin our semester with a hands-on CV building and a review session. One of the most fundamental element of your placement preparation, right? So here's what includes a live interactive workshop that will be going to happen. We'll walk you through an industry aligned resume format specifically tailored to match the expectations of recruiters across sectors like software, analytics, core, and research. All of we will cover not just formatting, but also how to write achievements, driven bullet points, how to quantify your effort, like how to quantify your impact, and how to highlight key skills, tools, and that companies are actively searching for. After the session, each of you will submit your first draft, and this will be followed by personalized review sessions where our team will go over your resume line by line and provide specific suggestions like common issues like redundancy, lack of metrics, poor alignments, or weak phrasing will be pointed out and be corrected. For possibly we will conduct the new session around the CV building too in few months. Samir, next slide, please. Like this will be our formatted CV, like the sample one. Here you can see it's the CV of a former alumni, uh, the education and the relevant courseworks, work experience projects. You can see all are the bullet points or all the keywords are perfectly bolded to get the attention of that point rather than looking for the all the like among all the CV's points. Then comes the technical skills and the extracurricular activities. We will let you know how to do this, how to make your CV perfect. Yes, from this part, I would like to pass the spotlight to Urvi. Urvi, please carry on the session.
Okay, so picking it right from where Ayush has left. So I'll be discussing about the evaluation tests. So as already mentioned, evaluation tests will clearly be conducted to test your efficiency in the OTs that will be conducted for recruitment purposes of internships and placements as well. Currently focusing on placements for this batch. So it would merely be a conduction of two major rounds of evaluation tests. One would be for aptitude and one would be for technical knowledge. As I have already, as you all must be knowing, at this particular point of time, the software companies have a technical OT round, which includes questions from aptitude, and it includes knowledge or questions regarding the technical knowledge as well. Whereas the analytics and consulting sector also conducts an aptitude round, where they put questions regarding logical reasoning and data interpretation. They have questions regarding verbal ability and comprehension, rephrasing, and etc. And alongside, if I mention about the core sector as well, before anything else, they also have an online aptitude test which has questions or MCQ questions regarding or based on the subject you're being taught in your department or the core subject. So evaluation test will play an efficient role in making you proficient in those kinds of tests, irrespective of which domain you choose to go in. So as I already mentioned, these tests will simulate real company exam patterns, helping you track your own growth while identifying key areas of improvement. These would be an asset by which, when you will attend the tests and you'll get the results soon after, and the results will be published soon after the test, you'll be able to evaluate yourselves on the score rate of a particular number, and you'll be able to know in which sector you need to improve, so that you will be able to crack the OTs of the incoming companies which come on campus. Okay, so moving on to the next slide would be domain project workshops. Here, students will technically be divided into domain specific groups, and they will be assigned with real time projects. Now, these projects will have definite objectives and deliverables. Accordingly, as it is already mentioned in the title, as you can see, domain project workshop. There are four different domains in our campus, as you know, and these projects will be based on those particular domains only. And you have the option of choosing to which domain you want to go and you want to attend the projects. These projects will have definite objectives where you will be mentored throughout with progress reviews and feedback sessions, which will be very essential or which will ensure quality outcomes. You can add this project to your resumes as well. If you have worked hard and it comes up to that level, you can add it to the resumes, and you have to make sure that your resumes shine with these projects. Now, coming up to the next slide, I'll be talking about research internships. Now, this is an area which is focused by each and every student, irrespective of which domain that person chooses. Specifically chosen by the integrated MSc students, this plays a very important role in their career. And research, we besides everything else, we also focus on research internships, which are great opportunities to gain academic work experience. As we all know, programs like Spark by IIT Roorkee and Surge by IIT Kanpur are some of the famous and well-reputed research internships that you all must be knowing about. Now, these internships allow you to work under a professor or the focused, like on focused research topics, or these topics will be belonging to the domain that you belong from, and often in your core or allied domain. This majorly comes in your core sector. Now, moving on to the most important part of the process, the recruitment simulation process. So, before moving on to it, I would like to inform that this is a new initiative that has been taken by the previous TrainCom members. Before 2 years, we did not have recruitment simulation process. So, the major agenda behind recruitment simulation process is to mirror the real life hiring practices followed by top organizations. Over here, the recruitment process will be conducted as it will be conducted by the companies which will come to hire you. Right? Previously, we had evaluation tests different, we had interview sections different, and we had other aspects of the recruitment process which were conducted in a different manner, and students were given feedback according to the performance in the individual sections. But in recruitment simulation process, it would be a whole simulation process which would start from OT or aptitude test, which will go on to interview, technical interview, and which will go on to HR interview, and then you will be getting feedback based on the entire thing. So it will be one of the most exciting part of our training, because these recruitment simulations mirror the real life hiring practices followed by top organizations. Now, what do I mean by top organizations? That the format or the pattern that the top organizations follow to hire students or to recruit students from campuses is taken well care of while designing the entire recruitment simulation process. So no doubt it would add a you can say that it would add a cherry on the cake of your preparation towards these companies. So now, you will experience all phases in this recruitment simulation process, from aptitude rounds to personal interview rounds across various sectors. And this is not limited to only one sector. It will be conducted for each and every sector, like software, BFSI, analytics, and many more sectors that prevail in our campus. Now, coming up to the next section, sector specific recruitment simulation. So let starting with software, IT and BFSI sector, simulations here will involve coding tests, technical interviews and problem solving challenges which will mimic actual recruitment process from top companies like Microsoft, Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. Now the pattern and the format which they follow, as I've already mentioned, is taken well care of while designing the recruitment process, and it will be definitely be very helpful if you follow each and every step of this without any delay and without any ignorance. Now, next sector, coming up to the next sector is analytics and consulting. Now, we all know before any case study presentation or any interview, the all the analytics and consulting company prefer to have a rigorous aptitude data interpretation round, aptitude round where most of the students get filtered out. So the process, the recruitment process for analytics companies start with a quant heavy assessment followed by case study rounds and then the interviews. So the recruitment simulation for this sector will definitely aim to develop and access your logical thinking, business sense, and communication skills, which is a major factor in cracking roles at firms like Deloitte, ZS, and Bain and Co. There are many other big three, big four companies which I did not mention. So, along with a heavy practice or a rigorous hand in data interpretation questions, a good experience or a hands-on experience in case study, and besides all this thing, what you need to have is a very good communication skill, which will help you to crack roles, which in other sense I mean, which will help you to crack interviews. Okay. So coming up to the next sector, VLSI and semiconductors. Similarly, for students interested in core electronic roles or are VLSI or semiconductor simulations, it covers subjects like digital and analog electronics, STA, and C programming. This will be followed by technical interviews, replicating recruitment rounds from companies like Intel, Texas Instruments, and Qualcomm. More regarding this will be said in the further slides as well. I'm just giving you an overview of the recruitment simulation which will be conducted for each and every domain. Now, the next, I guess we are done with all the domains. Okay, so this is a glimpse of the placement statistics of the previous year, just to let you know how many percentage or what percentage of numbers, or I mean, what numbers of offers, what number of offers had come, and what percentage of students has been placed in the respective sectors. If you take each of the sectors into consideration. So please have a look on it. I think reading it out won't be a good idea. So have a glimpse of it and then we can move ahead with the further slides. By the time, I would like to say that we have the comment section open for you. So if you have any issue related to any of the slides, or you have any question regarding anything, you have any query regarding anything, you can drop it. We will be keeping a note about it and we'll be referring to it at the end of the session. So please make sure that you drop your doubts by the time the slides are being scrolled upon. Now I will pass it on to Shadan or to talk about software and software IT and BFSI sector.
So, hello everyone. Yeah, I think you all can see me now. So, coming on to the software IT and BFSI sector. So, I think you guys must have an understanding of what software IT means. I will just give you a glimpse of what BFSI means. BFSI means banking, financial services, and insurance. Both the sector, software IT and BFSI, have the same prerequisites, also have the similar recruiting hiring process. So, coming on to the prerequisite part for these two sectors, the first, then the most major important chunk is DSA, data structures and algorithms. So a lot of you guys must be practicing competitive programming. So for you guys, it will be easier to jump onto these platforms like LeetCode, GFG, and start solving questions. And if you guys haven't practiced competitive programming, I would say like start practicing now. Pick up any sheet or any set of questions and start practicing problems. There are a lot of platforms available for you to practice coding questions. So there are a lot of famous sheets I would recommend, like Striver Sheet and Love Bubber. Solving sheets will help you in two ways. A, it will give you a glimpse of what questions are actually asked in an interview, because in an interview, questions from the sheet are actually taken up and asked. And B, that it will help you to write cleaner code. Now, coming on to the CS fundamentals and technical project part. So, first I will take up CS fundamentals part. So, for placements, you must focus on DBMS, operating system, computer networks, OOPS, SQL. SQL is a topic which is generally asked by BFSI companies, and yeah, you can prepare these topics by searching on interview bit. And yeah, coming on to the technical project parts. So for placements, you must have at least two decent projects and one internship experience. I know you guys haven't started, your internship session hasn't been started, but still, you should have an idea what all things you must do for placement. So if you guys haven't started building any project, haven't learned any language, I would suggest take up any course, do anything, build a basic project, and then iterate over it again and again. Every great developer that I know have started from very basic project and then iterated again and again and made very decent or very good projects. This is how you learn software development, by developing softwares again and again. So for the communication skills part, like it is not required to you to be a very good orator, but you need to have decent speaking skills to communicate what you want to say to the other end of the table. The interviewer needs to understand what you are trying to speak, how you are explaining a coding problem, how you are explaining your projects, how you are solving a CS fundamental problem, an SQL problem. So you need to have a decent speaking skills for the communication skill part. Now coming on to puzzles and aptitude, there are a lot of platforms like India Bix and GFG where you can practice puzzles and aptitude, logical reasoning, puzzles, aptitude. These type of questions can be asked in online test as well as in the interviews. So going on to the next slide. Yeah. So recruitment process. So generally a three-step process is followed. Resume shortlisting, online assessment, and then technical interview. So picking the first part, resume shortlisting. The most important thing which you guys should focus on right now is CGPA. A lot of companies do CGPA shortlisting, and by meaning a lot, I mean literally a 7 or 7.5 is a must. It is required. A CGPA of 8 makes you save for almost 90 to 95% of the companies. Some companies do keep a cutoff of 8.5, but still, having an 8 CGPA is the minimum requirement. And apart from that, your resume shortlisting can be done on various criteria like the projects which you have built, the achievements you have made, and a lot of companies have varying factors for resume shortlisting. And in further sessions, we'll also tell you about the ATS course and every other things. Now, coming on to the online assessment round. In the online assessment round, there will be coding questions based on DSA. There will be logical reasoning questions, aptitude-based questions. There can be puzzles, SQLs, CS fundamental based questions. But the major chunk of companies which come in our college for in the software IT and BFSI sector do ask DSA questions in the online test. So practice on it a bit more. And you can't leave CS fundamentals and puzzles part 2, because a lot of companies do ask these things in their aptitude round, in their OT round as well. So the third part, the technical interview, it varies from company to company. Some companies keep 1 to 2 rounds of interview, while some companies keep 5 to 6 rounds of interview. But be sure the first round which you will have in any company you are facing, it will be a technical round. They will ask you DSA based questions. They will ask you CS fundamental questions. Some companies can ask you aptitude, logical reasoning, puzzles. Some company like in the BFSI sector will ask you SQL based questions. So the after the first second round, usually from the third rounds, if you have it, it will be a behavioral or HR based round. Like questions like how you are interacting with your teammates, how will you manage if your teammate decides not to work with you. These things are usually asked in behavioral or HR based questions. So coming on to the next slide. So yeah, you guys can drop your questions in the comment sections, uh, and you can see a list of major recruiters which come to our college, like Google, Microsoft, Amex, MathWorks, Flipkart, Barclays, Randolph, Oracle, Visa, BNY. SAPLabs is one of the company which usually ask puzzle-based question in their interview. So you guys will get to know what all things are asked in each company as your placement season comes near. So if you guys have any question, you can drop it in the comments. And so passing it on to Umi for handling the analytics and consulting part. Yeah.
Okay, so am I audible to everyone? All right. So I'm here again to talk about the analytics and consulting domain, which is one of the most in demand and dynamic sectors today in today's world. So, talking about before getting into the prerequisites and the recruitment processes, I will just walk you through the information that this sector, analytics and consulting, is barely divided into two parts. One comes under the data analyst and data scientist. Roles, which as a whole comes for the analytics sector, and the other sector deals with consulting, which includes topics or which includes problems like growth strategies, competitive analysis, market dynamics, and digital transformation. As a whole, you need to have a very good hand on these topics before getting onto this sector. So it's not about like the sector as a whole is having a very good demand in today's generation, especially for the students who do not want to get into software, who do not want to lead a core corporate life, and for the students as well who do not want to get into power plants, or who do not want to have a plant life or something like that, who do not want to get into the core sector. So this is a very good domain for them. So, walking you through the prerequisites that this domain demands from you. First comes with puzzles and aptitudes. As I have already mentioned, this plays a very important role in the OT rounds, as I've already mentioned. So, in the OT rounds, they will definitely ask you questions related to quant, related to logical reasoning, data interpretation, verbal ability, comprehension reframing, guesstimates. Now, guesstimates play a very important role because it in OT they can ask you questions related guesstimates, and the very next round, which is the interview round, also in interview round also you may be asked to solve a guesstimate then and there, because that is a way how they can judge your capability to solve questions then and there. So guesstimates play a very important part in that. Now, coming up to the case studies. Now, case studies are definitely like most probably the second round of all the recruitment processes that the analytics and consulting companies do. So over here, they demand you to have a good knowledge on machine learning. They can be on structured or unstructured business problem statements, statistics, statements related to statistics, or various other things. It can be a product analysis. You may need, or you may be asked to analyze a product, find its market growth rate, find its do competitive analysis, find its market digital transformation, and various other things. Now, coming up to Python. Python is the building. I will say that Python is the building block before you step onto this domain, because there are analytics and consulting companies which keep a coding round just after the aptitude or the aptitude round. For example, this year Fractal had kept a coding round just after the aptitude round. So over there, they won't be asking you questions related to DSA. They won't be asking you questions related to the CS fundamentals, but they would be majorly focusing on questions which would be related to Python and its libraries. For that, you need to learn Python and many of its libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. Matplotlib and Seaborn are basically visualization tools which you would be needing to represent your data that you would be extracting using pandas and doing numerical calculations using numpys. Now, basics of ML. Basics of ML and in depth or deep into ML is definitely required if you want to pursue a career as a data scientist. Like rather than keeping the consulting sector aside, you may need it everywhere. Now, in the consulting sector as well, according to me, big four companies require you to have a hands-on experience on ML as well, because consulting is a part of the company which is dealt with in the advanced sections, or they hand over such issues to students who have just come out from a MBA college, or they have done their postgraduates. Uh, so on what basis they would be judging the freshers, or on what basis they would be judging the students who have just graduated after completing the BTech? It would be on your coding skills, it would be on your ML skills, it would be on the basics that you have learned as a data analyst and a data scientist. Then comes your consulting part. Now, in the basics of ML, what you would be needing is SQL, MS Excel, and BI tools. BI tools basically includes Power BI or Tableau. You can choose any one of that, you can pick any one of that and learn that. Now, these all are the prerequisites that you would be needing. Now, coming up to the next slide, is the recruitment processes. So here, resume shortlisting has not been mentioned, but I would like to talk a little about it. Now, what do you require to what do you require to have in analytics and consulting CV? Now, after mentioning about you and your schooling, in the project section, you need to show variation. You need to show diversity. That is the main aspect that matters over here. Like, for example, we will be sharing CVs in your group for various domains, sample CVs. But for now, I'm letting you know about it. The how diversity will be maintained. You can have one EDA project, you can have one case study or a product analysis. You can have a BI project or a Power BI project, or you can have an ML project. Irrespective of that, you can have three different projects from three different domains, which will show diversity in your profile. Now, that is very important. This is about the resume shortlisting part. Now, coming up to the online assessment, as I've already mentioned, MCQ questions will be there, which would focus on quantitative aptitude, statistics, LRDI, VARC, SQL, Python. And for if at all you have a coding round provided by the company, they will basically give you questions from Python, Pandas, SQL, DSA. If at all, they will be giving from basic and intermediate level. That's it. They would not give you questions deep or very rigorous, which would include very rigorous DSA as as it is given by the software companies. Next, coming up with the technical interview. Over there, you will be having in-depth discussion and on technical knowledge and product projects. As I've already mentioned, guesstimates and puzzles and gamification skills. Now, coming up to the interview, guesstimates. As I've already mentioned, guesstimates and puzzles will play. Okay, really sorry, guys. There was a small inconvenience due to network issue. So where I was in technical interview. So puzzles and guesstimates will play a very important role because that would be an asset where you can prove that you can think and you can work out problem statements then and there without knowing the problems. Next, coming the case study, they can be in a structured format, they can be in an unstructured format, they can be any problem statements and guesstimates. That includes guesstimates as well. Now, coming up to the interview, HR interview, it would be purely a managerial or a behavioral round where they will clearly take a walk into your personality, the way you present yourself, the way you deal with the problems, the way you show your stance when a problem arises, and the way you present your problem so that your surrounding is not affected, and various other factors that matters at that particular round, which will evaluate your cultural fit and communication skills. As I've already mentioned, what will walk you through the interview and what will emerge you victorious in your interview is your communication skills and nothing else, irrespective of the knowledge that you have in your domain. Now, coming up to the next slide. By the time like I introduce you to the major recruiters, I'll request everyone to drop their doubts in the doubt section if at all they have any doubts. So by that time, I'll walk you through the major recruiters of ANC domain of our campus, which includes Fractal, Deloitte, PwC, Future First, EY, O9 Solutions, and ZS. Now, coming up to ZS, there's a short note that I would like you guys to keep in mind. ZS does not only recruit students by campus placements or on campus placement. It also has another way around, which you call campus beats or the hackathon. It is basically a case study hackathon. Campus beat is technically a case study hackathon, which is conducted for third year students. You can give the case, and the method or the format or pattern of campus beats changes every year. So letting you know about, you can get an information about the previous year, this year, previous year, or previous to previous year anytime or in the Google, but letting you know about the pattern won't be efficient at this particular point of time. But you need to keep in mind that it conducts campus beats. Very soon the link will be generated. You can give the campus beats case hackathon. It is technically a case study, case based hackathon where you will be given to submit a case study, or where you will be given to walk through a case study and answer few questions, and accordingly they will select few students from every campus for the interview, and you can crack a FTE through that. So it's a very important opportunity. Keep a note on that. So now coming up to the next slide. So now I would like to call upon Aniket to talk about the core sectors.
Am I audible? Can anyone please confirm it? Okay. So after the IT and analytics, see, core sector is having those companies in which you will be applying what you have studied in your 4 years, what you have learned through your academics. Now, the major four domains in which the core sector is divided is FMCG, fast moving consumer goods, then power and heavy machinery, oil and gas, and manufacturing and automobile. So the companies from these four domain usually come to our campus. Can we go to the next slide? So the prerequisites are, yes, a good CG. This is a must. You should have CG near to 8 or more than 8. 7.5 is okay, but 8 is the safe point, because if you are below than 8, there is a high chance that you will be eliminated in the first round only. Companies, when there is a high number of when the candidates are in a high number, then companies usually only eliminate through the CG shortlisting only. So they keep the 8 as the margin. This is the usual case. So try to have a CG more than 8. Uh, Obviously, you guys have only 2 months, 2 semester left, but try to get as much more CG as possible. So going to the strong resume. Yes, in core domain, the parts of the resume include the achievement and projects. These two sections should have a very powerful, should have good and impactful entries into these two sections, because companies are not going to see any other section mostly. These two are the prime things which they are going to look after. So, good project and internship, yes. Now in the summer, you many of you are going through your internships, some of are doing research internships. Good. If you are not having any project or internship, then you have 2 months, 2 semester left with you. Participate in competitions, get as many as achievement as possible, and try to have at least one project in which you are very much confident, in which you can explain the interviewer what you have contributed, how you have used the domain knowledge, as they are not going to ask you about why you have done research project, why not an industrial project. The only thing they are going to ask about, what have you contributed, how you have used your domain knowledge, what you have studied in this project. Mostly managerial questions can be asked, but not in the uh, project part. So going to the understanding of core subjects, you guys have now passed your second year. Keep in mind, the second year core subjects are the major things which are asked in the interviews. Third year subjects are somewhat not very important, but keep in mind, all the courses which you had in your second year are equally important for the company. The subjects might vary company to company, but yes, they are going to include only the second year subjects only. Now coming on to the aptitude practice. See, when you are going to attend an OT or an online assessment, 20 to 25% of the mm, 20 to 25 portion of the uh, OT is going to be aptitude practice, and this is a very easy part which you can crack if you practice only very little. Now you can practice in the summer very little, and this can give you high chances to pass the OT. Then communication skills. See, in core domain, communication skill give is a very important thing, because uh, the companies which come to our campus majorly come for the management trainee position. So in management trainee position, as its name suggests, do the you have to have a good coordination skill, and you have to deal with clients and customers from throughout the world and other companies. So communication skill is a must. Also, GD and for GD and personal interviews, having a good confidence and speaking skill can give you a upper edge over the other candidates who are a bit shy, or you can say introvert. So yes, communication skill is a must. Try to improve it in the summer only, because from the starting of August you can expect big companies or good companies coming. So yes, communication skill is a must. Then software knowledge. You might think, what is the need of this in the core domain? We are core people, we don't need any software knowledge. So now the company is demanding tools everywhere, software tools everywhere. So the major two are Python and Excel. You must have an advanced knowledge in these two tools, not a beginner knowledge, because beginner knowledge everyone is having. So to have an upper edge over the others, these two you have to have good knowledge, Python and Excel. Apart from that, the softwares can vary department to department. Like for the Mac people, they must have the knowledge of SolidWorks and ANSYS. And MATLAB and R are other two things which is common for every core department. You must have good knowledge in it also. For chemical people, it's Aspen. You can also go for DWSIM. So yes, have a little knowledge over the software. It will give you an edge over the others. Next slide. So about the recruitment process, I have talked about how important projects and achievements are. So basically, the resume shortlisting will be, if the company people are doing it directly, then yes, your project and achievements are very important. Otherwise, your ATS score is there. We will provide you a very good template, so don't worry about the ATS score. And apart from that, everything has been explained by the previous CCs who have come, CCs and Sadan. Then coming on to online assessment. So in online assessment, I have talked like 20 to 25% will be your aptitude, then everything else will be from your core. We will try to keep the questions limited to the second year because you will be just coming to the third year. So it will be very easy if you have studied your second year. If not, you have time, do study. Then going on to the group discussion. So basically, group discussion is something where we form we form a group of about 4 to 10 people, and the company people provide a topic. It may be related to core, it may not be relating to core. For example, for Tata Steel, it may be carbon capture, but it may also give you questions like why should we prefer men over women in industrial sector, or about feminism. Any topic can come, any topic from general knowledge can come. So yes, be aware what is going around the world, have a good IQ, have a good general knowledge, and start practicing the your speaking skills, and how to form points. You have to form points within very few minutes. You will be provided very few time to think. And yes, it won't be very hard. If you have good confidence and speaking skills, point will automatically come to you. Now about the technical interview, this round will have questions mostly based on your skills. What have you done in your internship, your projects, achievements, the CV. They will be first asking questions based on your CVs. Then after that, they will be asking question from your departmental core, which are important for their company. So it varies company to company. Try to look after the module or uh, ca- uh, PDF will be sent after some time, where the people who have done FT or intern process, they have shared their uh, they have shared about their experience for various companies in the HR round. Now in the core sector, the HR round is very uncommon. You can expect very less chances of having an HR round, but still there are some companies who do have an HR round. So in this HR round, you will be asked about your behavioral, about your behavioral nature, and how your management skills, your aspirations, how you see yourself. Like these questions are only. So again, these two rounds will be cleared if you have a good confidence. So yeah, speaking skills is a must. Now you are in third year, so you must have a good speaking skill by now. uh, let's have the last slide. Yeah, major recruiters. So Exxon is there, two PSUs are there, HP and BPCL. So yeah, any doubts if you have, please ask. Okay, so no doubt. So Kirti will be explaining you about the VLSI sector.
I hope I'm audible. So, moving forward, let's talk about the VLSI and semiconductor industry. This is one of the sectors that is currently seeing a huge boom, not just globally but also in India. Companies like Texas Instruments, Qualcomm, Intel, and many others are seeing a massive influx of candidates right now, and they are actively growing their engineering teams. And what's more, these companies have also significantly increased the compensation packages they offer, along with the benefits that come with them. We are talking about top tier salaries, performance bonuses, and great opportunities for career growth. At the same time, something interesting is happening in terms of candidate preferences. There has been a very clear shift in interest towards this industry. A lot of candidates who would earlier have gone into pure software roles or stayed in their departmental core sectors are now moving towards VLSI and semiconductor. And you might wonder why is that? It's because the industry offers a unique blend of flexibility and depth. If you have a decent background in software, that is an add-on, and core electronic skills, that is a must. So many roles in VLSI design, verification, physical design, and even semiconductor R&D require you to be comfortable in both software and hardware concepts. So let's take a practical look at how you can prepare to break into this domain. I'll walk you through the typical recruitment process, but before that, we'll discuss some key skills companies are looking for and some very important tips that will help you stand out and succeed. So we'll start with the prerequisites. Here are some of the must know areas you need to prepare for: digital design, puzzles, digital and analog electronics, circuit theory, STA, COA, C programming, and you need to have a very strong projects related to this domain in your CV. So, an important piece of advice for you: please make sure you study computer organization and architecture properly. This is one topic that shows up in nearly every single interview in this domain. And unfortunately, even many technically strong candidates are not confident in it. They tend to ignore this topic for some reason that I don't understand. Companies expect you to know how a processor works, how memories work, how buses interact, and this is tested again and again. They might ask you in their interview. They might also have questions in online assessments. Another key point: do not neglect C programming and logical reasoning. I cannot tell you the number of candidates I have seen brilliant at Verilog, excellent circuit designers, but they have missed out because they couldn't clear these basic rounds. So please give these areas the attention they deserve. Now we can move to the recruitment process so that you know exactly what to expect. We'll typically have two rounds: online assessment round and a technical interview. Resume shortlisting and HR round, it was already discussed by Aniket and Udi in great detail. So the online assessment round, that's the first round. It will test your knowledge in logical reasoning, digital and analog, circuit theory, your grasp of STA. STA is extremely important for design and verification roles, and C programming, COA. Then, once you are shortlisted, you will move on to the interview round. This interview will again cover the same topics I just listed, and depending upon the role, you might also be asked about Verilog and scripting, Perl, etc. Okay, one final note, and this applies across all domains, not just VLSI. Please make sure you maintain a high level of professionalism and decency during your interviews. Companies do look for technical skills, but they also value soft skills and your communication ability. And equally important, please start working on your communication skills from now. It's not just enough to build solutions. You need to be able to explain what you have done clearly. You need to show that you understand what you have built, why you have made certain design choices, and how your solution works. And this can make a big difference. So that's an overview of the preparation and the process. If you focus on these key areas and approach this preparation strategically, you will be in a great position. You will definitely ace it. So I'll tell you some of the major recruiters of this domain. We have companies like Texas Instruments, Nvidia, Intel, Micron, Synopsys, Ola, Qualcomm, and AMD. So if you have any doubts, you can drop it in the comment section. Okay, no doubts. Then we can move on to the monthly cohort section. For this, I'll pass it on to Ayush.
Yeah, okay. I'm back here. So here is our one of the main initiatives, that is cohort. Many of you have participated. Very appreciable. But for those who don't know, let's go. First of all, I want to check. Am I audible, Samir? Yeah, perfect. So, what exactly is the monthly cohort? At its core, the monthly cohort is a structured platform for industry and academia collaboration. From this, what I meant is every month We bring in organization from across sectors to engage with our student community, and not just through the talks or the seminars, but by solving real world problem statements. So, here's how it works. Companies share industry and real world challenges. Our selected student teams dive into those problems, ideating and innovating potential solutions. And finally, they come together on the campus for the build and pitch stage, and on campus hackathons where ideas are transformed into actionable pitches. This program is more than just an event, it's actually a learning ecosystem. On one side, companies get fresh perspectives from some of the brightest students' mind, and on the other hand, the student gain hand-on exposure, develop a problem solving mindset, and learn how to think creatively under constraints. As a training committee, we believe that truly learning happens when theory meets practice, right? And the monthly cohort is our step towards bridging that gap. This initiative is more than just a project submission. It's your opportunity to take the concepts you have learned in classrooms, algorithm, design principles, domain knowledge, and apply them to real world industry challenges. These are live problems faced by the actual companies, not hypothetical case studies. Through the cohort, you will experience what working in professional setup feels like. You will deal with the deadline that matters, expectation that evolve, and the collaboration under the pressure. And this is not just about the coding or designing; it's about thinking end to end, bringing an idea to life fast. And what's more, it's a huge resume booster. Like you will gain experience in ideation, problem solving, and solution pitching. A chance to speak to the industry professionals, get feedback, and even showcase your work in interviews. Improve confidence, presentation skills, which matter as much as technical skills today. And yes, there is more. Outstanding teams may receive internship offers, mentorship opportunities, or even some other incentives from the companies involved. Some of our past participants were directly approached after the pitch day. In short, this is where learning actually meets the opportunity, and it's right here on our campus. And yes, one important announcement to make and the opportunity for you guys that we are going to start a June cohort soon, uh, probably from this week onwards. Have patience, and we will provide you each and every details needed to be shared. For now, get your belt buckled up and actively participate in the cohort due to early mentioned benefits. And yeah, see you there. Next slide, Samir. Yes, the open source programs. For this, I would like to invite Sadan. Sadan, please.
So yeah, hello everyone, it's me again. So coming on to open source program. So you guys must have a basic understanding of what open source means. Open source is basically a software whose source code is readily available on the internet. You can clone it on your local PC and modify it, distribute it without any facing any copyright issues. You can say Linux is one of the best examples of open source. Linux kernel comes under various distros like Ubuntu and all. So not going deep into that side of the session because it will be out of the scope. So as the training committee of NIT Rourkela, last year our seniors in the training committee introduced two projects, the SES and the cohort gate. The SES is the candidate evaluation system, which this project had two repositories, the SES web and the SES AI part. Let me explain you the basic theme of the project. The candidate evaluation system was focused on evaluating a candidate's resume. Like any student can upload their resume, get personalized feedback based on a particular domain. Suppose a person is targeting software IT and VLSI sector, he can select that and he will get recommendations to add a particular keyword or remove some things from his resume based on the domain he has selected. He'll get personalized feedbacks. Now, the two repositories were SES Web and SES AI. The SES Web consisted of the front end part of the application. It, it was made using React, and the SES AI part was the ML part of the project. Now, coming on to the Cohort Gate was a single repository. It was a React based full stack application. Now, to explain you this, it was basically a platform for onboarding companies which are coming for cohort. The cohort which was explained by Ayush just now, the companies which are coming for it, we are building a platform so that they can have a smooth onboarding process and join our college for conducting hackathons. So why you should do open source and why is it important? So there are a lot of big open source projects like GSOC, LFX. You can start contributing by solving very small issues. The GFI is first, like the good first issues. And as you progress, as you understand the code base of the repository, you can take up much bigger issues and solve them and contribute as time progresses. Okay. So it will impact your resume. It will add a good value to your resume. Usually the recruiters ask you to explain your project. If you will explain a very nice project which you have taken from the open source, it will add a very good impact to the resume, to the recruiter. So passing it on to yeah, passing it on to Urvi.
Okay, guys. So just a minute. I'm facing some issue. Okay. So that was all about it, and I hope you have got an idea in what aspects the training committee would be helping you, and in what format or what pattern it would be following to help you out in the recruitment process that you would be facing in the upcoming intern or the placement season. At the same time, I would, though Ayush and Shadan have given enough information about it, I would like to draw or put a little more light on the new initiatives that has been taken by the previous TrainCom, that is the cohorts and the open source. Cohorts play a very important role, and all they have to do is with your personal growth. And beside personal growth, you will have a real world industry experience by providing solutions to the problem statements that would be provided by the company. And at the same time, you will be having many, or you will be getting an opportunity to have many incentives, even besides that, internship offers or placement offers if the company is corporate enough. And beside that, as you can see, there are coming to the doubts section. There are not many doubts, but I would read out few questions like do you need to learn all of SQL, include the data types and functions? And if I am using PostgreSQL, should I also get familiar with MySQL? Does DSA matter much for analytics? Okay, so coming up to SQL, it is advisable to read both Postgre and MySQL because few functions would be there for which PostgreSQL will be required, and few functions would be there which would be requiring MySQL framework. So according to me, both you need to get familiar with both the things, and you have ample amount of time with you to practice both. And coming up to DSA, as I have mentioned, DSA is not a compulsory thing that you need to do or you need to practice for analytics and consulting. Like if you are being a part of analytics and consulting domain, but if at all you're doing questions, like if at all a company is having a coding round, it will be very the questions of the coding round will be very intermediate or basic, and if it contains DSA, the questions will be of very intermediate or basic level, so you need not worry about that. So any other questions? So I don't think there are any other questions that I need to mention, that I need to consider. Anyone has any doubts, the comment box is open for you all. So you can drop any doubts. You can drop the doubts if you have. Okay, so thank you so much for being a part of this session today. I would, before concluding, I would quickly walk you through the training policy that has been provided or that has been taken out this year. Now, each and every program or process that will be conducted by the training committee, it's compulsory for everyone to attend. Besides that, if anyone has any issues regarding any factor or any thing regarding which or because of which they are not able to attend the training committee session, they need to inform the respective branch TCs or the TCs who are responsible for the branch or the chief coordinators, whomsoever they want to. They have to inform before missing any session, and more than 3 session will result in direct removal of you from the training committee group. You need to be a part of each and every session, and if you're not being able to be a part, you need to give proper reason for that. You need to have proper reason regarding that. And at the same time, this was not all of it. If you have any other issues which you could not drop in the comment box, you are always free to contact us. And for that, what you have to do, you have to join the training committee group of your respective branch if you have not joined. We have tried our best to make sure that all of you have been made to join the group. But in case if you have been left out, or if you have missed to join the group, kindly make sure that you join the group. And over there, you will be having the numbers of the chief coordinators and at the same time your branch TC. So you can contact with them, or you can contact them in case you have any issue or you face any obstacle in your journey. So that was it for today. Thank you so much for joining the session. Thank you, everyone.